Welcome all you OGs out there, whether you're an online gamer, an original gangster, or just an old geezer like me. This is Julie 1961 for Old Gamers Never Die, and I am back in Conan. Always fun to be back here, and I've been thinking, there's a lot of new people that are playing, and we got chapter 3 coming before too much longer, so there'll probably be some more people playing. And one of the things that you're going to need as far as a resource goes is oil. You got to have it for repair kits and fixing your armor and all these other things, and it's hard to find. Well, not really. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to show you a couple ways to get oil. One, you may have seen a lot, and you may already be using if you've been playing for a while. Another, maybe you haven't used before. It's a lot simpler, and it's self-sustaining. You don't have to keep going out and hunting things down. So let's go ahead and get started, and let's see what we can get up to. So the first thing we got going on here is we have the first method, which is fish. In your knowledge steps, you're going to need to be able to make fish traps, which is a level 17 skill. And once you have that, you can build you a place. I like to have my stuff secured, so I built a little shack. And in here, got the basic necessities of home, but underneath, I've got fish traps. And you can just stick them in the water. You can put them on top of a foundation as long as it's not too deep in the water. You can put it along the shoreline. But basically, you go up to your fish trap, you hit E, you put bugs in here, and over time, you're going to catch fish. Not hard. And if you build a little shack like this, you've got your fish shack, and you go out there and you get your fish. And I always try to put a door down there so I don't drown. And then you'll need some of these presses. All right, so presses are a little bit further down the tree here. You're going to need to get to put press in here. You can get to level 28 to get a fluid press, which you will need to make oil out of fish. Right now, until then, you can cook the fish and you can make tasty treats. You can use them for food for your animals when you're raising them to try to get better chances of getting greater tames. But the problem with fish traps is you've got to go out here, you've got to pick your fiber, and you got to get bugs. And you keep getting bugs. You drop your bugs in here, and you start getting fish, right? But you got to keep getting bugs. And the other thing is the fish spoil, which, if you're not thinking about it and checking your traps every day, you may come back and all your bugs will be gone, and so will all the fish because they rotted. I'm going to show you a better way to do this. I want to make you an oil tycoon. I don't want you to be reliant on things that might spoil and go away when you can have things that are always there. So let me introduce you to the Tower of Power. I'm in creative mode because I don't want a lot of things that, want to eat me to be doing that while I'm trying to make video. But here it is. This is my refining station. Now, maybe I went a little bit crazy putting it together. And hey, if you want a video on how to do this, let me know in the comments. And I'll put something out there on how I built this thing. But honestly, the most important piece is what's inside. So, hey guys, what's up? Everything good? Awesome. So let's go in here and let's get to the nitty gritty here. All right, going up. Now I've decorated the Tower of Power out a little bit with some stuff that may be from the Battle Pass and from DLC, but yeah, the stuff that I'm going to show you right here is basic game stuff. You don't have to worry about that. Oops. I don't even know my own way around. Here we go. All right, we have our presses, right? You're going to need these no matter which step you get to. So you're going to have to get to the level where you can make a fluid press to get to this step where you can start making oil. Okay, so we have our fluid presses, and we have something else, something different. We have these things. These are dryers. Now, to get the dryer, let's go back to the knowledge points here. We're going to say dryer. And there we go. There's the dryer. And to get to the dryer, you have to be at level 19. So by the time you get to the fluid press, then you will have the dryer. And the other important piece of this little outfit. You're going to need this guy here, which is a grinder, because you're going to need to grind up some bones. So we get the grinder at level 17. So we have the grinder, we have the drying racks by the time we get to these guys, right? So everything's cool. We get all that stuff. And now the other thing we're going to need is this. We're going to need a little bit of knowledge. We're going to need to know peasant growing under survival, and that is a level 18 skill. With that, you're going to get a crude planter, and you're going to get a compost heap. The compost heap you use to make fertilizer, which goes into the planter. Makes sense, right? Okay, so we have a little compost heap back here. That's what that looks like. And if you put in this bone meal and some rotten meat and some fiber, you're going to make fertilizer. You can also make fertilizer with dung. So if you have a stable and you're getting dung out of the stable, you can bring that in, drop it in here, add it to some plant fiber, and it will also make fertilizer. There's two ways to get there. You got rotten meat all the time. I know you do. If you're playing, you always got rotten meat. You throw it in this thing, it lasts for a long time when you put it in here. Look at this. 3 hours, 55 minutes for one of them to rot. Okay, by that time, it'll be fertilizer. So you can drop those in there. The other thing it will do is it'll generate these grubs, which you can eat if you're hungry. I hear they're kind of nutty tasting, but you can also use them to feed your thralls.
So meaty.
Or, hey, you can go put them in a fish trap and catch some better fish. So there's some advantages to having this dung heap over here. Okay, so now we're going to come out here on the veranda. Have another little, yeah. I have a lot of need for fertilizer, and this is the thing that you're going to need. You're going to take your byproducts, right? So you're going to get rotten meat. It's just going to happen. You're going to pick up fiber as you're going and doing stuff, right? So you'll get enough to start with. You pick up bones all the time, skulls, bones, whatever you want to do, put them in that grinder. It'll make bone meal, and you'll be constantly cranking out fertilizer. So I mentioned self-sustaining. So we're getting meat and we're letting it rot, and it takes up this part of the equation. But this fiber, you got to harvest it, right? And I said it was self-sustaining. So here's what we're going to do. We take those planters, remember? We put those around here. Now I've got several things planted here. We take the planter, you take fertilizer, your seed of choice, and it will start making those plants, right? We need fiber to feed the compost heap. So if we're growing fiber, we're always going to have fiber to put in there. And you're going to go, well, Yuli, you got to have seeds to grow that. You do. And you said it was self-sustaining. And I don't want to go pick fiber and get seeds all day long. I've got things to do. I got dragons to fight. I got treasure to find. I got thralls to look after. And I got priests to find. I don't have time for this kind of stuff. Exactly. So what you're going to do with this fiber is you're going to take it in here. So you put some of it in that compost heap so you can make some more fertilizer. The rest of it you bring in here. You need bark to make it run. Not hard to get. You're going to pick that up as you're going around doing stuff. But if you take this fiber and you put it in a drying rack and you turn it on, look at that. You're going to start making seeds. And you're always going to make enough seeds to get back multiple times the amount of fiber you put in there. So I'll only get 59 seeds, but out of each one of those seeds, I'm going to get more fiber. It's not a 1-for-1 trade-off. So I can consistently go out, get my fiber, put them in the drying rack, get seeds, put half of those seeds back into my planters to make more fiber, and take the rest of those seeds, and here's what we're going to do with them. We're going to take them over here to our handy-dandy press. And all we got to do is take these seeds and drop them in here. Look at that! We're making oil! You don't have to catch fish. You don't have to go get bugs to feed the traps. You don't have to worry about your fish expiring and disappearing and decaying and be gone when you come back, because the seeds don't rot and the fiber doesn't rot. So as long as you're making compost, you got to go out and get your starter seeds. You got to do that, but you drop your kind of cramped quarters over here. Close that door. Okay. You have to have compost in there. You take some seeds, you put them in, and I'm making fiber. And it'll take a while to get going. But once you got it going, you just plant the seeds with some fertilizer from here, pull the fiber out when it grows up. take half of that fiber and split the stack. Put half of it back in the compost heap to make more compost. You take the other half in here and put it in the drying rack. And hit the on button. We're going to start making more seeds, which we will take out. So we'll plant half of our seeds and we'll press half of our seeds. You're going to need 15 seeds to get 1 oil. But you're going to make so many seeds. If you follow this process, if you take your seeds, your initial batch of seeds, you plant those, you put some fertilizer in there with your initial batch of fiber and your rotten meat that you pick up along the way, and your bone meal, which you grind from the extra bones that you have, then you're going to start getting more fiber. Take half that fiber, dry it, take half your seeds, crush them, take the other half of the seeds, put them back in the planter to get more fiber, and then you just repeat the process. Half goes here into the compost heap, half goes here into the dryer, half of your seeds come out of here and go to the press, and the other half go back out here to the planter. You just keep making that circuit. Whenever you have time, you're back at your base, you got nothing else going on, drop them in here. You don't need to water them. It's not like some other games where you have to keep your crops watered. They'll grow over time, and you just harvest them when you got a chance to. And then you'll have plenty of oil. And you can set yourself up to be an oil tycoon like me. And you'll have barrels and barrels and barrels of oil. And everyone will be jealous of your ingenuity with all the oil you've got stockpiled to do pretty much anything you want to. You'll have so much oil, you can start using it in your furnace and fire that. You'll have plenty of oil for all your repair kits and everything else that you need oil for in the game. And friends and neighbors will come by and say, hey, can I borrow a cup of oil? And you can say, sure, for some fiber or whatever else you want from them. All right, well, I hope this helped you in your struggle to survive on Conan. Gives you some way to always have oil on hand. Yeah, you got to get up to the level where you got to do the fluid press, but you know what? You're going to want that fluid press for a lot of things. You can squish animal heads in there to get blood. You can squish berries in there to get berry juice. It's kind of a multi-purpose tool. So make sure when you get to that level, grab the press. You'll already be able to get the dryer and the planter, which will give you the compost heap, and you can make all the oil you want and never have to go swimming in a lake trying to get your traps cleaned out or put bugs in them just to catch a few fish that decay before you get a chance to go back over there. All right. Well, again, thank you so much for coming out and watching the videos. I really do appreciate everyone watching the videos that I put out there. The views are just, they knock me over. There's so many people watching these things. I never would have thought that would be something that would happen. So thank you very much for that. Hey, if you enjoyed the video here, make sure you hit the like button. That helps me out with all the YouTuberisms out there and gets the video out in front of more people so they can see it and learn from it. And, you know, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you've got a different way of doing things, drop it in the comments for some of the new people that are out there, because there's a bunch of them. And hey, if you enjoy the content that I have on my channel, don't be afraid to hit that little white tic tac in there on the bottom of the screen and subscribe to Old Gamers Never Die. Always happy to have more people in the group. Come on out to our Discords. The link is in the description below. Hang out with the OGs. We've got game servers for Conan. We've got game servers for Ark, for Icarus. We've got a lot of people that play games. We got a lot of people that like to talk about video games. We've got some other creators in there. So come on out, hang out with us. It's always a good time out there. Okay, well, y'all be good. Stay safe. Take care. And this is Yuli signing out.